There we go. Oh, of course, my chat thing is not looking pretty, of course.
It's fine.
It's fine. Hello,
It's
everybody.
fine.
We are here. We are queer. Well, some of us. I am going
Hello.
to move this a little bit. I spent so much time on the whatchamacallit, on the overlay, and then it isn't pretty enough, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. It's okay. Hello, Purple Moni, Money, Glitch Witch, Geeky Gear, Bumblebee, Becky, and Maddie. Hi, Maddie.
Checking.
Oh, you just checking.
Have us in the background? No worries. That's perfectly alright.
You're
We're
gonna
going
use
to
the
be
mic,
yapping the most.
We're gonna try.
Okay.
What? What do you mean?
You guys must just let me know if the sound is okay, because I do have the Discord feed and then also some music playing, so let me know if the
Now, do you want to
sound
leave the
okay.
chat open in case there's any questions?
I don't think there's anybody in our chat. That's what I'm checking.
Oh,
Where are you guys checking?
No, you see that's the backstage
Yes,
section.
I know.
Oh, you guys must be looking on Twitch itself.
Oh.
I will send you the link quick.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you can actually check on your phone then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, where am I gonna see chat? Because I'm gonna be like.
Sound is good.
You got
Awesome.
Twitch.
Thank you. Let me just turn off the sound.
Turn off.
Shut up.
You just went orf.
You are bullying her today.
Hey, listen, you should see what happens when the camera's off. She hits me in places you can't see.
Okay, sure. I mean, I often say that the more I bully someone, the more I love them. So that's why my friends get so much shit from me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good to know that's why my leg is still sore.
Oh, it's...
No, that's from the accident.
Oh. Don't make me laugh. I'm going to peek my mic.
Sorry, my phone is like, oh, you need to download something. I'm like,
Oh, oops.
okay.
Glitchwitch says that while watching this, they're designing their comp outfit for next year Comic Con.
That's awesome.
Is it just not signing in?
No,
Oh,
there we go.
come on.
10 years and 5 days.
10 years, 5 days, 6 hours, and 13 seconds.
Exactly.
Is that how long you guys have been together?
No, that would be 9 years.
Oh, thank your anniversary was like really recent as well.
Yay, the 15th.
Yeah.
9
The 15th
years,
of
my
September.
word.
Yeah, I was 9 years with this person.
This thing.
If Leatherface here.
My face is not leather. Okay, cool.
I trying to see how fast this thing's going.
There
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's
Caught up.
about like a 7 to 10 second delay, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
No, that is fine.
Yeah, we're just trying to see if we can see any questions while we're talking.
Nah, it'll be quick, so don't worry. Okay, you guys can pretty much take it away. If there's anything you need me for, then I will be hovering, but I will otherwise just make comments every now and then.
No, that is fine. Okay. Okay, hey guys.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, sorry, we're super awkward. Not gonna lie.
I officially stopped voguing. Okay.
Oh, are you watching yourself?
Yeah, no, I was seeing the delay.
Oh, okay. No, great. Okay, so hey guys.
Hello.
Yeah, if you don't know us, I am Kayla, also known as Tanuki Cosplay.
Where are you looking?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at different screens.
There we go.
Okay, and you? Introduce yourself.
I'm Nuria from BluRohbot Studios. I am the former South African champion. Now given the reins over to Maddie. Yay!
Yes, no, congrats to Maddie. So we're going to be talking about all like the different types of like in terms of international competitions and such.
Kind of things they don't tell you that you actually need to know.
So we will just sort of give you an insight of like the things that we saw, what we saw behind the scenes, and also just kind of help prepare you. I think that would be like the best way.
And listen, what we're saying is from our experience, it's not law.
Yeah.
So don't a lot of stuff just don't take it as it being that's what it is. It's stamped out as being the law.
Yeah. At the end of the day, things do constantly change. Rules are updated every year. Sometimes even before events, they can be updated. So, yeah, just honestly, it's always good to speak to organizers or honestly whoever is organizing the competition to get the most up-to-date information. But we'll give you what was our experience.
Yeah.
So you can start off with telling us about C2U2.
So it started off when I was a little boy.
That's not that long ago, my goodness.
Well, listen, when I won, it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. The excitement of it, the full of emotions, because I hadn't competed in 7 years, so it was so essentially it was me coming out of my cocoon into a beautiful butterfly after 7 years. Yes, it took me 7 years to what's the word, to pupate.
Yeah, no, so he lost. So he last competed in like 2017, which was I think.
I mean, technically,
Rage.
you did Rage in 2023.
Yeah, that was like when I first dipped my toe in, and I was like, let me start in something small before I decide to throw myself onto the bigger knife.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Sorry, I actually forgot about
that. And then I won Masters, which gave me a little bit of confidence back, very tiny bit of confidence back, which I'm not very confident.
Yeah, and I then competed in my first in-person competition, and then I ended up getting best in show at Rage for 2023, which was completely unexpected.
So she won, and I got Masters.
So
you guys know what you're talking about.
Sorry?
So you guys know what you're talking about.
Yes. Just a little bit.
I would think we know a little bit. We know a little bit, not too much, but not. We don't know everything. And like I said, whatever we're saying now comes from our experience.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's not carved in stone 10 commandments law.
I know you competed. I think that was still back in the day in 2017. Was like back in the day when they still had skits.
Yeah.
Which, that was an age. We don't really have skit competition. No, we don't even have any skit competitions.
Yeah, the only ones would be WCS and ECG.
Yeah, that would be, and ECG, obviously.
Yeah, ECG
they've now introduced that, and ECG is its own thing because that's construction as well as you have to have a stage performance in order to compete in France, which is really awesome. And I know like they did choose someone this year. They didn't end up going. I don't know what was the logisticals behind that, but I think they're going next year to represent South Africa. So
but I mean, listen, after I won and everything, I did what I advise everybody to do. I reached out to previous winners, to previous people that have gone over. I reached out to the international cosplayers that also have competed at C2E2 to see what sort of level I needed to be at. And one of the comments that I did get from the international cosplayer that judged me last year, which was Matthew Barry, is that he was actually very impressed with my costume. There's a few things I needed to change, but essentially his words to me were, I essentially brought a crown costume to prelims, basically. That's the. I mean, it was actually an amazing thing for him to tell me that, because it was like a year's worth of work, and to see that year's worth of work be given its flowers like that, was one of the happiest times of my life, and both one of the happiest times of my life and one of the saddest parts of my life. This is because I know I've spoken about this before, but in making this costume, I lost my dad, and 10 years ago my dad was the first person to help me make this costume initially. So after he passed away, I wanted to do this not only for myself but for him as well.
Yeah, and you made your dad proud.
I hope so.
No, you didn't.
No, you did. You did.
But I mean, other than that, big thing is getting in touch with previous winners, previous people that have gone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say because it's very easy for people who have not gone overseas or gone to the specific competition to give you advice. And there's nothing wrong with getting advice, but you won't be able to get that specialized kind of advice unless you speak to previous winners who have gone over and have competed and have placed or even just experienced the competition. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I think, yeah, you reached out both to Ludus as well as to Jinxie Cosplay as well.
I reached out to Matthew. He was also a great help as well, because he gave me pointers during my feedback. But of course, in the emotional state I was after everything, I barely heard anything. Thank God she was there to actually record some stuff. But then I also sent him some messages as I was going through it, but only to find out that he had to stop giving me feedback because he was actually judging me at C2E2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could no longer ask him any questions because as a judge, he had to be impartial.
Yeah, no, like once they kind of become a judge, that you can't ask them for help no matter how much you want to ask them. No, but Matthew, honestly, I know he's honestly amazing. If you ever need like assistance or any sort of advice, he's more than willing to actually give you a lot of advice.
The advice.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of like your first point of contact. I think another point of contact is in terms of like looking at previous winners, previous people who've entered the competition. You want to see the level of detail you need to be at. You kind of need to see where people have been, people who've competed, people who've entered, people who've won, and look at the finer details of their costume. I know the thing is you think that the world is not watching, the world is watching. When we announced whoever was winning our competitions, the countries, a lot of the people from those countries are watching at all times. They are seeing who it is that they're competing against, who they have to compete against, who they have to beat. They are watching. They always are watching.
They're all watching. Believe me, they're watching.
Yeah. and I mean, like, we have heard that South Africa is one of the countries that that compete at C2E2 are very terrified of because we always bring it.
Good. They must be afraid.
Yeah,
they watch us very closely.
Yeah, no, because they see the level of work that we do, and it scares them. And we have been told by previous contestants, by people who've gone over, that they are terrified of the South Africans because of the level of work that we bring to the competition. So that's something to be proud of, I would say. With regards to like our level of competitions and such. So
we roll through fear.
So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and then you can talk about essentially
it's just like
after winning.
Your prep after you win.
I'm gonna look.
No, just check if there's any questions or anything that we need to say. But after you win, the prep you need to do after that, the months leading up to when you leave. My suggestion is not much. This is what I did. I prepared myself. Everything I had to look at my costume with a fine-tooth comb and pick out anything that I felt wasn't great. It was good, it was nice, it was very well done, but how could it be better? Like, for instance, my boots. I made my boots from scratch. The only thing wrong with my boots was I used EVA foam for my soles instead of actual rubber soles. Because I was pressed for time, I used EVA instead of a proper sole. So that was one of the main things that I changed, was the soles on my shoes. Because I walked in those EVA boots for like 2 days, And by the time I was done, I almost had no sole of that shoe left.
Yeah, you were complaining a lot.
Yeah, I could feel the stones
Nuri
under
complaining?
my feet.
You complaining?
Yeah.
That would never happen.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Don't worry. No, don't worry. I moan a lot when nobody's around.
Yeah, I'm the one that listens to all the
But yeah, that's
PG, PG, PG.
if you feel that your wig is not the best it could be, you can try and fix it, or start again from the beginning. Don't chuck out the older wig. Keep it as a safety and start again. Look up tutorials again, because there might be some stuff that not saying that you don't know how to do it, but stuff that clicks in your head when you watch it. You're like, I forgot about that technique. If I do this, it'll make it a lot better. Put in the work. There are no shortcuts. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. There are no shortcuts. While improving my costume, I tried to do shortcuts, and no. I'm sorry to tell you guys, there actually is no such thing as a shortcut. You've got to put in the work. You've got to, if something needs to be made again from scratch, it needs to be made again from scratch. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And I mean, watching him literally work on the costume after Comic-Con
and pull whatever hair I had left out.
Honestly, the thing is, once you win the competition, it becomes a situation of you have to reevaluate your whole costume. Now you've got this costume. You need to think about how to make it.
We might die just now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we apologize if we switch cameras. Between the stream, just one of our cameras is gonna die.
No worries.
Just no, this camera's battery is horrible. So but I mean, you have to kind of reevaluate your costume from the beginning. You have to look at it from the top of your head to the tips of your feet.
Yes.
It's literally a situation of, you look at something and where you could say, oh, you know what, I can get away with that in the competition. You can't get away with that at an international competition. No. He, for example, like I can go through the costume that he had. So like when he had the wig, he added pieces he added white pieces into the wig so that it like showed graying.
Yeah, essentially. I ventilated the wig.
Yeah.
Because
no. So this was now before. So this is what he did. But then when it came to it, he changed the wig into a lace front. He had to start ventilating so it looked more accurate to an actual hair coming from his head. He's a bald man.
What?
I haven't had hair in like 10 to 12 years. I haven't had hair. So
like you have to think about that. You have to think about how can I make the hair look the most realistic? How do I ventilate it? Is there a lot of hair at the front? And that's where like pictures, research. I mean, we used the book, and I'm gonna thank the Color of Duct Tape because I can see that she is there.
Thank you.
for the book that we got for from Weta, that was
for The Hobbit.
Yeah, and that book had extensive like screenshots of every part of the costume, different elements like swords, canteens, keys, all of that type of stuff. He was able to actually look through it and actually be like, okay, cool, this is what I need to do. And you need to literally be so particular and pedantic looking at all the details of a costume. Obviously there's things that you can always add onto a costume that aren't specifically accurate, but they make your costume more interesting, like fabric choices, like details or on your fabric itself, if your fabrics have patterns, that type of thing elevates your costume, whereas it may not be accurate, but it will be seen as more interesting of a fabric choice. One of the big things with him, with the feedback that he got, was they loved his fabric choices. It was heavy duty fabrics. So you have to think about it in like a real world situation. Yeah,
essentially it's what they would have made their costume, their clothing from during, like if we were in Middle Earth. You know, it would be woven fabrics, it would be leather, it would be, cotton, and not everything would look pristine.
If I may interject quickly.
Mhm.
I do know that it also is highly dependent on the competition itself, because, for instance, some competitions really don't care if you make it authentic. They are
Yeah.
like, I know that WCS is more focused on, is it does it look good on stage? Is it good for on stage? What about on stage? Okay, cool, it's on stage. For
Yeah.
for C2E2, I believe it's more focused on, it is focused on construction completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
it's very much a construction competition.
When he was on stage, like they honestly, all they want to see on stage is, can you move in your costume? That is literally
That's
all
honestly
they're
what they wanna see.
interested in. So like they see the movement. You have what, 40 seconds on stage to
Yeah,
essentially
about a minute.
or
About a
maybe,
minute.
yeah, 40
about
seconds a minute to literally be on stage. They will like obviously read the little synopsis. They usually play your intro video that you have to record before you go over, and they will play that. They will literally read about your costume, and it's essentially what you see at Comic-Con Africa, but they're literally just seeing that nothing falls off, nothing breaks. Like there's not, like if you want to do something dramatic on stage, that just kind of adds to it. Sorry,
On
I'm
camera.
there. But like they literally want to see the movement of the costume. Can you move? Are you like walking around like you're stiff as can be, or are you actually moving like the character? And like then obviously you go down the stairs, and then that is honestly
That's honestly it, and then you
Yeah.
wait for the result. But I mean, like with this, like I say, it's very construction based, and it's very technique based.
yeah.
Like for instance, like I said, with my costume, it had to feel as if it was living in Middle Earth for years and stuff like that. And like I said, there's things you can add to your costume to also elevate the costume, and that's also the main thing you have to think about after you've won. How do I elevate this costume to make it even better than I did? For instance, like I know Maddie's costume is a Genshin Impact costume. A lot of the textures are very smooth, very sleek and stuff. What they would appreciate as well is if you decide to remake a certain part of the costume, if you get roughly a patterned material, because the pattern makes the piece more interesting.
If
You know,
I can
and-
brag quickly, I was busy looking
Yeah.
at her fabric choices today. Oh, they are so nice. They are so delicious. Oh my god, they're so cute and pretty, and oh, I love them. Carry on.
Yes, they love it, but what they love is the textures of the costume.
Yes, they
Yeah.
wear like these
They love-
like patterns in it.
They,
Ah,
they love texture. Yeah, they love texture, they love patterns, they love making it feel as if it's essentially, you do not want to break the illusion of you being that character.
So like for example, with his year, there was a lot of Genshin Impact. There was also a lot of Strawberry Miku costumes that we actually saw. Sorry. There was a lot of Strawberry Miku, sort of like it's very much about the like sewing techniques, those specific costumes. But for example, you could see when someone had, for example, those wigs are very big and they're very detailed and structured and such. If there was even like a kink out, you could notice it. So the whole thing is you shouldn't break illusion. You shouldn't be able, if you're wearing a wig, you shouldn't be able to see your hair underneath. If you're going to be Strawberry Miku, you need to be Strawberry Miku. Not in terms of like how we do it with our competitions where you have to be in character when you walk in, not like that, but you can't break that image. You can't break that illusion.
Basically the visual illusion.
Yeah.
Like with me, when I walked into the judges room, and by the way, guys, you don't walk in there in character.
There's no such thing like that.
No such thing like that. You walk in, they ask you to tell them about your costume. They will look closely, very closely at your costume, and also you only get 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that 5 minutes goes so fast you actually don't see it.
Yeah.
You'll be explaining your costume, you would have just gotten in there. The next thing you will hear, 1 minute left.
So I was able to be a handler for him when he went in. So when he went in for the judging, it was a situation of I had to be silent. I'm not allowed to help. I'm not allowed to say anything. So he would go in, he would pass things to me, like the judges would pass things to me. And basically the whole thing is they can see what's on the outside. You need to show them everything that's on the inside. If there's specific...
Everything they don't see.
Yeah, everything they don't see. If there's specific techniques that you've done, if there's specific fabric choices, if you're really proud of a specific part of the costume, you need to show that to them, because the more techniques, the more things that you can show them that you've done that have been innovative, especially they are absolutely floored when they see things they've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like they lose their minds. So that's the kind of things that you have to show them, and you can actually show some stuff.
Like for instance, like this is my pipe. I made my foreign pipe. This is specifically his pipe. Something that I added to the costume. I'm not saying do this because this is just me, because I do the filthy habit of smoking.
Disgusting.
This is actually a functioning pipe. And they liked the fact that this was a functioning pipe. And in here, what I did was I took a bit of super glue, a bit of crap. I can't really see if you guys can see it, but in here, as you can see, there's little grimy bits in here. I actually took some super glue and bicarb, dipped it in there, and make it look all rough. Made it look like ash, so it actually looked like the pipe was used, because I mean during his times he wouldn't have time to really clean the pipe or anything like that, so that's just his pipe, and it worked. So it's a working pipe, so it is a working
I love
pipe.
how Kayla looks at you like with disdain of the entire smoking habit.
That's fine. Look at me with disdain. This is not what it's about. You can disdain me a lot, but these are the sort of realism things they want to see if you're going for this type of costume.
Yeah, this is more. I would say this is more kind of rendering you would do that. Like real world, so like things like movies, live action movies. This is more
fantasy movies. If you're doing a game like Monster Hunter, Horizon Zero Dawn, that sort of games, anything that has grimy, gritty stuff in it. Like this is also the one thing that they loved was my flask. No, it is not a functioning flask. They would have actually liked it better if it was a functioning flask. This is just it's EVA foam that I shaped everything out of and cut my lines in, and then heat gunned it up so it's got all the lines in it, basically all his patterns, particularly that is on his flask. He has a particular kind of flask. And then on the leather, I would do the weathering here. There's dirt in the grooves and everything. And I discovered one of the techniques I did discover.
I wait to talk about the patina.
Yeah, and like that's also one thing they want to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but this would be silver. So as silver gets older, it gets darker around the edges, and then I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you have this green, what they call a green patina. So silver gets green over time. If it's left to age and left to get old, it gets green over time, and you'll get that green patina. They actually like the fact that I mix the colors into it. I've got some rust on my costume as well, and people think that rust is just brown or orange. I will be honest with you, rust is about 10 to 12 colors, which sucks because you've got to use all 10 to 12 colors. And then as well as new techniques, like I made my pipe functional. They liked the fact that I made it functional. But one thing they were impressed by was my key. The key it's a solid, heavy key that took me about 3 days to carve out of plastic. So that was carving that was actually involved in that, and to get my different shapes and get my different textures on the key. That's one of the things that they did like about my costume. And like I said, all this pertains to a certain kind of costume. But elevation at the end of the day is the key to everything. They want to see not only that you've gotten accurate, but what have you done to make it pop, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
Like they are looking essentially. a costume that is mixed media is usually a costume that will do exceptionally well.
Yeah.
When I'm saying mixed media, I mean it can have different parts. It can have sewing, it can have molding and resin casting. It can have armor pieces on it. It can have leather working. It can have so many different applications and different techniques. And if you do something like that, that is impressive to them. If you can even create a brand new way of doing something, dyeing a fabric. Some people, like for example, I know in Luke's year, the girl, she dyed fabric with berries, like normal berries that you get, like blueberries that you get from
so
the
that was
market.
essentially that was essentially her technique, her new technique that she brought to the table. And listen, I know, like with a lot of things, a lot of people they don't get to see the competition costumes up close, and they will always be they will have questions. Why did this win instead of that? Why did the smaller piece win instead of the bigger creature armor or whatever? It depends. If you look closely at a costume, for a competition like this, specifically like this, your costume must encompass everything. Sewing, armor, painting, techniques. If you need weathering. If it needs to be pristine, it needs to be so pristine that I can see it's pristine from 5 feet away, and see it's pristine when it's up against my face like this. That's what they want. Illusion must not be broken.
The moment they see that there's a piece of paint that's paint has chipped off the costume, it breaks the illusion immediately. Now that's all they're going to zero in and focus on. Also, if you've got hot glue, if you've glued something with hot glue, they really don't care. But if they can see it, if they can see the strands that are still sticking to it,
if they can see the clump of hot glue that this thing is holding on for dear life with that piece of hot glue, and they see it, that as well, they zero in on that because now it's broken the illusion.
And I mean, things like that with breaking the illusion, obviously, a really big thing is never ever, I can't stress this, ever tell a judge that there's something wrong with your costume. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's all good and well you want to tell them, oh no, you know what, this piece broke off, or I left this piece at home, or don't do that. At the end of the day, if they are unaware of the piece missing or broken off or whatever, don't point it out. It does not help unless you've somehow broken it off and you've shown them that you've fixed it. Like I remember I judged someone last year for Rage, and they had somehow busted a hole through their 3D print, and she fixed it completely. And I was blown away because I didn't see lines, I didn't see texture. There was no way that I could tell that this thing was broken. I was impressed by that, and she ended up winning best prop for it.
She won best prop,
which was cool, Caply. And that was incredible because I was just like, what the heck? Because I did not see it. If you can show that you fixed it in a fantastic way, that is something
that will impress.
But please don't tell me if your buckle has snapped in half. If something is broken off and you want to say it's battle damage, then you better go to Cosplay hospital and go make it look like battle damage. I don't want to see that it's just snapped off, but I can see there's it's a resin print and I can see the white of the resin on there. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, that's not battle damage. That snapped off by accident, and I happen to see it as a judge,
I mean, for instance, the person that won last year, Hench and Scrap.
No, not last year.
Sorry, this year. My brain is blocked. This year, Hench and Scrap. That costume
is incredible.
I will tell you now, if there is anything wrong with that costume, I don't know about it. That costume is perfect. It's beyond perfect, actually.
So Hench and Scrap is the Australian representative that won this year for his year. Absolutely wonderful people.
Wonderful people.
That costume was beautiful. Like the wig was I think done by hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the wig was done by hand. Every piece of leather.
The elf ears. So Hinch did Halson from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
The ears were specifically crafted. It literally looked like she had elf ears. It didn't look like an elf ear that you just attach on. Like this thing was specifically molded to her ear.
Yeah.
All the parts on it, like there was a tree that was made out of metal that she hand twisted to have like it was like a tree of life. All the leather pieces were hand dyed. Like everything, like the prop that she did, I know that was 3D printed, but she had
she
working.
designed it and 3D printed it.
Yeah, she had working lights in it. She ended up.
The lamp that she had was completely functional.
Yeah.
The gears turned and everything. She designed the gears, how they would fit into each other and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Leg wrappings, the boots, everything. It was. If you see it up close in person, you can see the attention to detail.
It's actually more impressive when you look at it up close.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, obviously, some people may look at that costume and think to themselves, okay, no, this shouldn't have won. And it's like, at the end of the day, you weren't there in the judging tent. You weren't there with the judges. You didn't look at the build book. You didn't look at any part of it, but it's very easy to judge someone from a distance. It's very easy for you to also not be a judge and to see the costume up front. We got to see it, and I like very literally said to me, we walked into judging.
I looked at that costume.
We went into like the pre-judging room, and Nuri's like, I got no chance.
I literally looked at Kayla and I was like, I got no chance. No chance. That thing's perfect.
Yeah, no. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's very much about your techniques need to be on top of it, and like I would say research as much as you can. Look up new ways to do things. If you think about dyeing something with like rit dye is simple to like essentially dye with, but maybe if you can find a new way to do a dyeing technique. If you are doing embroidery, like for example, like if you want to do something that's got a specific detail, do you digitize the pattern and do it on an embroidery machine where the embroidery machine does it for you? Do you hand embroider it yourself? Do you attempt to do embroidery by yourself on your machine? Do you decide that you're going to weave it? So you need to think about different things, different ways in order to show a multitude of techniques. And that's literally what it comes down to. Yeah. Also, specifically to build books. So obviously with us, we have a build book. You know, you can do as many pages as you want. Obviously, we've got a specific guide that comes with the competitions.
Each judge, honestly,
is different with build books.
Yeah, to be honest, each judge is completely different. When I went over to C2E2, one of the problems one of the judges did have in our feedback session was that our build books were too long. And that there was too much explanation and not enough pages. Not enough pictures. And a lot of time there were too many pages in people's things, according to that. But then we had another judge. We had one of the other judges who disagreed with them, and was like, you know what?
The build book can be as long as possible.
This is your costume. If you need to explain to us in detail how you did this technique, you need to explain to us how you did this technique in order for us to understand what the thought process was going into it. So essentially, some people, they want to look at it as face value. Other judges or other people, they want to know in depth, how did you come up with this, because we've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And with that as well, I am like most of us, creative person, and I wanted my build book to match my costume. So it looks like I've been carrying this thing for a while. So what I did was, you guys don't have to do this, but what I did was I handmade everything with my build book. But what they generally want is pages of your build book in a flip file, being able just to flip through your book as it goes. What I did was I went crazy with my build book and I made one. I made a book. So I made this. I dyed the pages. I just printed out the pages with all my information. Then I dyed the pages. I hand sewed the cover. I put my little own symbol on the cover. I put little tie-ups on here and everything. I just to give it a nice intro, I hand drew that on the inside.
Go a little bit closer.
Yeah, I hand drew that on the inside of it, saying where it's from and who the character is and everything, with my little door to Erebor right there, the mountain with Smaug and everything. And I'm very, 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 very bloody proud of this thing. No matter what they said that it didn't need to be flashy, I wanted to make something that was nice. But in the book, I've got all my little references here. I've got my references here, and then what I did was I actually took this from the actually took this from the guideline that they gave us, which was more pictures, less words. What they're saying is sort of going down to the nitty-gritty. So this is all the materials and exactly how I get it, and then just pictures of everything. So you wouldn't even have to look at this. You could see in the pictures I did that. Essentially, I patterned everything down myself, from my costume to my resin casts, all the way to rough pictures of the finished products, all the way down to little bits of makeup that I did. Like for instance, he essentially lives in a mine, so I had pictures of my makeup. I did dirt underneath my fingernails and everything. So that's actually what I did, because I felt like I wanted my book to be like this.
You don't have to do a book like this.
You don't have to. It's not necessary. This was just my brain shouting at me, telling me I needed it to match my costume.
What we noticed a lot with the with not even just with the internationals, it was also with the USA qualifiers. They literally had a flip file. They had a flip file, and they literally slid their stuff into a flip file, and that's. So I just saw a comment that color duct tape. So basically, when we went to C2E2, basically, he had to drop his build book off the day before, so which was the Friday.
Yes, it was. It was featured on Adam Savage Tested, but she actually put a video up on the Hinch and Scrap Instagram of close-ups, and also on their TikTok of close-ups of the costume, and you'll be able to see the close-ups of the costume.
We should
on their
start
video.
from the top, not start from the bottom.
Oh, no. I'm just seeing from whatever I'm seeing here. I'm reading as I'm going.
What was I saying?
Color of duct tape.
Yeah, with regards to the build book. So he had to drop off his build book the Friday. So when we arrived on Thursday, the convention was on Friday. So Friday he had to drop off his build book. They literally just said, drop it off in this room.
At Cosplay Central. Yes, we dropped it off at Cosplay Central.
Yes, at Cosplay Central.
Yes.
And then they said afterwards that, then the Saturday, he then got judged. So he got judged at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. The stage show was at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, the stage show is only at 8 p.m. at night. Well, it'll be at 8 p.m. at night now in London. Because now it's moved to MCM London.
Yeah.
So Maddie will be going to London.
It started at 8 p.m. But keep in mind, he didn't get onto stage until about 10 because they have, how it works is they have the US C2E2 winner. Yes,
guys, we apologize. The battery's about to die. Should we just switch cameras?
Yeah,
quickly. Let's just switch.
What we'll do is we'll just put Be Right Back screen, and then we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Be right back.
Okay, there we go. We are back.
Hey guys, sorry, technical
Not
difficulties.
back yet.
No, it's just stuck.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're back.
Sorry, technical difficulties with our camera driving us up the hole. So what was I talking about?
You were talking about the process.
Yeah, the process. So on Friday, you dropped your book at Cosplay Central. Sorry, he's like. You drop your book off at Cosplay Central on Friday, and then you can honestly do whatever you want to do. Saturday, you then obviously will have the competition. You have to be there, I think it's by 5, and then you get judged. And then at 8 o'clock is the stage show. However, the global contestants don't start until
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to check. I'm trying to adjust the camera so it's as good as it can be. Okay.
Sorry, that's
there we go.
easier. So Saturday you will then start at 8, but the global competitors don't. They will only start much later. So you'll have your qualifier for C2E2, so they have to choose a champion from that. Then they take all the qualifiers from the different American events. So you've got New York Comic Con, you've got Emerald City Comic Con.
Well, essentially, whoever's qualified for the American portion of the competition, they will get chosen as the American champion at CTE.
So they've got 5 different American events where they choose like essentially a winner, and then.
But like we say, we don't know now because this has now.
No, it's still taking place. I read on the website.
What?
About the fact that the American thing is still happening.
No, I know, but I'm saying that we don't know if it's going to be earlier or not because then they would have to go to CTE in London.
Yeah, no, they're still getting chosen in March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
So they'll choose a winner from the Americans essentially, and then that American champion will be chosen for global, and then obviously you've got the for your year it was 6 countries, which was South Africa, the US, Australia, Latvia, Spain, and then someone.
Australia.
No. Oh, and the UK, which
Australia? Okay.
Which and the UK. So So and the girl that was from the UK is from Scotland. So So it was just the 6 of them, and then obviously then you compete, but that's about 10 o'clock. So you're literally waiting for quite a while in the room. But what's nice is like literally you are like escorted from the room to like your own little private elevator to like the backstage area, and then you go on stage, you walk the stage, have your moments, and then you get off stage, and then they deliberate, and then obviously like they'll choose the winners. There's only first, second, and third. There's not like special prizes.
No.
With the American qualifiers, they've got their special prizes. They've got their needlework and their armor and their FX categories. And then like they obviously will do that. And then obviously with global, it's just the first, second, and third. And then afterwards on the Sunday, then you have a feedback session with the judges. So you can decide whether you want to go or not, but it's a joint feedback session. So they'll tell you all the things that they saw and such.
And then you do get a little bit of individual time with the judges. Like it's not long.
It's like 2 minutes.
It's literally like 2 minutes if you like.
Yeah, and then like they'll tell you everything about what they saw in your costume and such, and then that's literally it. But I mean, I know you wanted to tell like the people with regards to like how the experience is not just about the competition.
Yeah, listen, guys, this is, yes, you are representing the country. It is, it's honestly, it's just an honor to be, oh God, I sound like I'm accepting an Academy Award here. But it's honestly an honor to be chosen to represent your country. It's actually an amazing feeling. It's a very scary feeling, but it's an amazing feeling. But remember one thing. Actually, not even one thing, a few things. Make friends with the other competitors over there.
Yeah.
If you will find out that a lot of these people are the nicest people you are ever going to meet. Make friends. One main thing is to make friends. We've made friends with the Australian people, with the Scottish, with the English competitor, with the Spanish, with the Mexican. It's been almost a full year, and we still talk. We talk to each other all the time, and which is great because you build that connection as well, and that's what it's all about: is building connection, essentially, expanding the community from our community from what we have here, to put it into the community there.
Yeah.
What you are experiencing is a worldwide community of people who love the same thing, who do the same thing as you do, swapping techniques, swapping information. It's wonderful to learn from one another.
And I mean, honestly, they're just as scared as you are.
Honestly, a lot of I think with most of the people there, It was their first time.
Yeah.
So they are just as nervous as you are. It's like, when they tell you, and you see a spider, oh, it's just as afraid as you are. This time it's actually true. They just as afraid as you are. They just as nervous as you are. A lot of them, they've never been overseas before. This is their first time. I know with the I think it was Stacy. I think it was Stacy's mom, the Latvian contestant. It was her first time overseas as well. So it was the first time she ever left Latvia. So it was a very, very scary time for her as well.
Yeah, and I mean, a competition like this, obviously, like you've got your normal competitions and such, because the group of people, and I'm not going to talk about the US competitors, because the US competitors were sort of with themselves, but like with the global contestants, you kind of built this relationship and this friendship and this bond with people who are exactly like you, all trying to go for the same thing. Everybody was nervous, everybody was excited, everybody kind of just bonded. And I mean, like, honestly, to see it backstage where they kind of like had a moment together where they were all just
I will post a video. Well, I posted a video. I will post another video about it.
No, but like the way that everybody was just cheering each other on, like every competitor had, like, they had their handlers. Obviously, going overseas, you will have someone from Comic-Con that does go with you. If you are able to have someone like a person that you know that can help you, that's even better. I was lucky enough to go with him. But like the way that like it was the cosplayers and it was the handlers, just like having this moment, almost like a round table circle
Basically, yeah.
backstage before they announce. It was, you build a bond that I think that people, you won't understand it unless you are in it.
It's a bond that will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
If you keep up those bonds, you have made friends for life. You have made connections for life.
Yeah. I mean, we've got like already like two of the people that are like, oh no, you can stay by us when you come over. So we're
these people don't know us.
Yeah.
But don't know us anything. And they're like, no, if you guys are ever in the US or you guys are in Mexico, if you guys are ever in Australia, you've got a place to stay.
Yeah.
Because we built that relationship. It wasn't even over a couple of days. We built that relationship within a day. I'm not even talking about within a day.
Yeah.
I'm talking in 8 to 10 hours. We built that bond so tightly and so effectively that we now have people that we can say honestly that we love, because there were such amazing people. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about the people. It's about supporting each other, being there for each other, and whatever your feelings are, be happy for the person who wins. Be happy for the person who comes second. Be happy for the person who comes third. If you don't place anywhere, that's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't place anywhere, but I knew that I was amongst the best people in the world, and I made it there, and I was happy to even be there. I felt lucky to be there. And if you feel any sort of way about it, because listen, it's an unavoidable feeling. I'm not even gonna lie, I had a slight, when I say slight, I mean ever so slight, like a 5-minute spit of it, like a month afterwards, like, I should have done better. I should have done this. I should have done that. Yes, you should have. But at the end of the day, you did the best with the information that you have. And if you feel some kind of way about it, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's regular.
I mean, look at Matthew. Matthew entered in Luke's year, the year that Luke went, and then obviously Luke placed second. He didn't place at all. He came back the next year, which I don't know if it's a situation of like the UK allows you to enter even if you've won previously. But he came in and he won the thing the next year.
He came back stronger.
Yeah.
Much stronger in his techniques, in his visuals, in everything. Because he didn't wallow in his failure. He took that failure, and I'm not even going to say failure. He was just having a bit of trouble with it. And he found that speaking to people, talking to people, gave him ideas, gave him the push he needed to go do it again, and he came out on top. He came out number 1 in the world for that year. And that is something we can all learn from. He picked himself up, he dusted himself off. And you never know, one day I might try again. And that is just me learning from my mistake.
Yeah.
Learning from my stuff where I essentially fell short. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
And honestly, watching him like just put himself through the most emotional mental trauma I've ever seen of anybody. I literally, like, it kind of is, it's inspiring to see. It's inspired me to compete. Like, I was never someone that was interested in competing, and then I competed, and I kind of got like bitten by the bug for it. And I mean, I would at some point love to enter the competition myself and give it my best and see what happens, you know. And you know, like I've sort of got like a better insight into the competition, having spoken to previous winners, having gone to the event with someone who has experienced it and been in the judging room when he was being judged and such. So I mean, it's a crazy experience. And I mean, a thing now that he has forgotten to mention, which I keep saying.
I'm going to mention it right now. I'm putting it out right now, okay. which is the best advice that I got before I left, because I was a mess before I left, because I was worried that I was going to let everybody down. I was worried that I didn't do enough to show what I can do. And a friend told me, 2 friends told me, at the end of the day, it's a competition. You are representing your country. It's a great honor. It's something that's scary. But at the end of the day, you have won a competition. This is not only a representation, but this is also your prize. So take it. We took it as a trip that we would never have a chance to go take again. We
got to explore a lot.
We explored Chicago. The day we landed, we landed in the morning. We went out that day, half dead as we were. We went out that day and explored Chicago. We didn't go directly to the con the next day. I think we ended up going to the con at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
To drop off your book.
Yeah, to drop off the book and walk around the con a little bit. Before we did that, we went to see a couple of places. We went to like this old style hot dog place. We went to this. We saw food trucks along the way. We did food trucks. We went to Millennium Park.
We saw the bean.
We saw the bean, and I liked it. But the point is this: it is not only the fact that you're representing the country. It is a prize that you've won, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. We enjoyed it.
Enjoy the experience.
We enjoyed the experience, and we are grateful that we just didn't go every day to the convention.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the convention was massive. You could not see it in one day. We didn't see everything.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like you think Comic-Con is big. You should go to an overseas convention. Like Comic-Con is what is a specific size. Now think about that, but like maybe 5 to 15 times bigger on 3 separate floors, and then you will get the scale of
I think it was
the walk that we had.
The Friday it took us about half an hour to 45 minutes to walk from one side of the convention to the other side of the convention.
Yeah.
And that's with stopping and looking at things, but it's massive. On the day it was full, I went looking around the convention to look around most of the convention. I didn't even get to the other side yet. It took me an hour because everybody is like this, and there are people with big costumes you have to worry about. There are stall holders that have their stalls maybe protruding out of the lines, but that's what they pay for. But you've got to watch their stuff. You've got to watch for security. You've got to watch for people that might be disabled, that are walking, that are doing wheelchairs, that are doing crutches. There are parents there with their kids, and they've got them in the little prams and stuff. You've got to watch out for that. But at the same time, it might take you that long to walk around the con. but at the same time, you will see the level of regular Congos. The level of these people's costumes, they aren't competing, they are regular Congos. The level of their costumes is something that I can tell you that we do here. That's something that I see here for competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they seem to take it exceptionally seriously, even if it's just casually walking through the convention and such like that. And I mean, and also like the diversity. I'm trying to find the word. The diverse set of costumes, because obviously, like in South Africa, obviously we've got a big community, but it's also at the same time a small community. Going overseas and then seeing just from different mediums, from different movies, from different shows, like I know, like for example, things like Demon Slayer are exceptionally massive in South Africa, but we honestly didn't see that many Demon Slayer cosplays. We saw a lot of like just like the most obscure anime you can ever think of, to like, you know, just massive groups of everything. And you know, it's just interesting to just see like the differences in characters that people choose and such like that. So I mean, like I think the convention honestly was great. Obviously, you know, like this is specific to C2E2. We don't know how MCM London is. Obviously now the Crown Championships has moved to London. There was logistical issues with regards to C2E2, which is why they've moved them to London and such. So it obviously will be a different experience for the person that will be going. Will be the first time anybody from South Africa for this competition will then be going to London. But I mean, it probably will you know, essentially be the same situation. The American champion will still be chosen at C2E2, and the like 2 months later they will then compete in May in London. Obviously, like they've got an extra country for next year, which is France. Besides the countries that competed this year. But like they might add more countries, and then obviously, like, you know, then everybody gets chosen. They've chosen the Latvian champion, they've chosen the South African. They still have to choose Australia, which is next month. There will obviously be Spain as well, and then obviously the US champion as well as France. So yeah.
But I mean, listen, it's an amazing experience. Take it in, soak it in.
Yeah.
Honestly, take it in. If you are frazzled, and I'll be honest with you, if you get frazzled, if you get nervous, if you get flustered, you will not see what an experience it is. I was lucky enough, I had her with me.
I grounded him.
She grounded me. She made sure I was calm. She made sure I listened to my favorite band. She made sure that basically figure out something that calms you and use it.
Yeah.
For me, it is music. I need to plug them in, be in my own world, and I'm fine. But I had her, and I was able to soak every drop of that experience.
Yeah.
That is honestly the best advice we can give.
That's honestly what you need to think about is.
And we will get to questions now.
I'm gonna look at the questions now. But soak in the experience. It's yes, you're there to compete. You're there to, you know, honestly, it depends also what you want to do. If you just want to make friends with people, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like if you just want to experience the city that you're going to be visiting. So obviously, like with Maddie, it will be for London and such. If you just want to do that, that is okay. I know there's a lot of pressure for people that it's like, oh, you have to place. You don't. At the end of the day, yes, if you are going to gun for it, then gun like hell. Go gun like hell for it, because then that means you need to start work now. Once you've won the competition, you need to start now. You need to take apart your costume from the top to bottom and look at how you can improve, what you can do better, what you know that you took shortcuts on, and literally do everything. If your lines are not pristinely straight, if you haven't if you haven't done lining, if you haven't top stitched, if you haven't washed your fabric, please wash your fabrics, people.
Iron your seams.
Iron your fabrics.
Make sure you're doing 3D printing or you're doing casting, make sure that casting is flawless. There's no print lines, there's no damaged edges, there's no rough edges.
If you're going to Dremel, you're going to be Dremeling for 4 days.
You're Dremel for 4 days. If it means that your thing is still not smooth after Dremeling, you're going to go through 100 sandpaper, 150, 230, 330, 800, 1,000, 2,000, just to make sure that it is as smooth as possible.
You're gonna make many mistakes.
Many mistakes.
And if you are making a garment and you have to take it apart 15 times, so be it.
If you have to throw it in the bin, burn it and start again. You throw it in the bin, burn it and start again.
But like if that is what you are aiming for, if you are aiming to gun, then make sure it's pristine. Like for example, like with Maddie, obviously it's got like a Genshin costumes or Honkai Star Rail, anything in that sort of vein is very pristine, very precise, very detail oriented. Your details need to be pristine. Like there can't be a seam out of place. There can't be anything like that. If that is what you are aiming for, then it needs to be perfect. If you obviously, like a big part is wigs as well. People think that if you enter a costume and you just put on a wig, that is it. No, you need to style the heck out of that wig. If you want to remake the wig from scratch, do it. You are able to do that. If you just want to ventilate a wig, then ventilate a wig. Look up. There are so many tutorials at this point. When we started, there was no such thing. I started in 2013. You started in 2014. There was no such thing as like you had the one random tutorial that was on YouTube.
Back in our day.
Back in our day.
Maddie, when I was your age.
So yeah, if you're gonna gun for it, then you gun for it, but then you need to make sure that you are looking at every single detail. Things that you didn't notice before.
It's gonna drive you crazy.
It's gonna drive you insane.
Gunning it is gonna hurt.
Yeah. But if you then spend the time from now up until May, you will be ready. And if you think it's not good enough, redo it. It's going to kill you, but redo it. Yeah, so now I'm going to look at the comments.
At the end of the day, we have the skill. We've got the people that know how to do this stuff. We have the opportunity to do this and place.
And
win. We've shown it. We've got the guts to do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
If it is if this is what it's about for you, then that's honestly, and if you feel like you want a gun for it, shoot with deadly accuracy. But if you feel like this is some way you can connect with people, you can maybe achieve what's the word I'm looking for? New avenues in which way to maybe further yourself. Maybe you'd like to talk to the other competitors and basically befriend them.
And also, if you are wanting to enter like Comic-Con Africa, look at the previous South African winners of the comps.
Please look at the previous South African winners.
The first year was Kimpatsu Cosplay, and she did a Sister of Battle from Warhammer 40k. The second year was a Jinxie Cosplay who did Blood Priestess Bathory, which is an OC character. So, just by the way, OC characters, that is, you need to actually specifically check with the organizer of the international competition. I'm not sure if South Africa is okay with OC characters. I'm actually not sure how it works with us. But when she entered, that is an OC character, and obviously is a really big character. The third time was Luke with Aratak from Horizon Horizon Dawn.
It was one of the DLCs.
Yeah, Horizon Dawn, the Frozen Wilds.
The Frozen Wilds.
Yeah, so that was a specific character. Then the next obviously time was then Jinxie again, who then entered with a Zelda costume at Comic-Con Africa, but then entered C2E2 with Seraphim, which I think was also an OC.
No, Seraphim is from Sucker's
You are allowed
Zone.
to change your character. Are allowed to change your character for crown from what you won at Comic-Con Africa. However, you have to get permission from the organizer of the competition from Repop. If they don't give you the okay, then you are going with whatever your competition piece was for Comic-Con Africa. You can't change it, but you are able to change it to something else. But they will see whether there's enough time given that you can actually do it. If they think it's possible, then they will allow you. And then obviously then last year was this way. But yeah, no, obviously, like look at their costumes, see if you can zoom into the details, see the sewing techniques, the armor techniques, things that if you are unsure, if you're not sure how they achieve something, ask them, contact them, message them. Some of them take exceptionally long to respond, don't get me wrong. I know that. But ask them for advice, ask them about how they achieved something. Some people are very gatekeepy, they won't tell you your techniques. He's not one of those people. He will tell you. He doesn't mind at all. Like ask him. Please, like his Instagram is free.
It's the book brain. Open the book.
But also look at previous winners as well. That is a great way to see just what level you need to be at.
Yeah.
Okay, let me actually get to comments because otherwise I'm never going to get to it.
Yeah, we'll do like a question answer session now then. So if you have any specific questions you'd like them to answer, then just put it in the chat. The two that I did take note of. So Color of Duct Tape asked, was judging stricter at prelims or at C2E2?
C2E2.
At C2E2. Much more stricter. And they are going, like we said, they're going to look at your costume not like this. They're going to look at your costume like this.
They're going to lift it up. They're going to take themes. They're very specific. So how it went down is the organizer of the competition, Emma, she literally runs a tight ship. So she runs a tight ship. She made sure all 6 competitors were in and out within like a 25-minute span. So the thing is, like, you go in, like you don't, like I said, you don't enter in character or anything like that. You literally just go straight in. I followed right behind him, and they were like, "Tell us about your costume." And then literally they ask you, obviously, because of like boundaries and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
they ask you
if they can
touch you, and then they go ham. They literally take photos. They look at the specific, like they flip every single scene.
And by the way, you are allowed to, if you're not comfortable with them taking photos of your costume, you are allowed to tell them, that you are not comfortable taking photos of, of my costume. They completely understand. They're not going to be mean about it or anything. But if you give them permission to touch your costume, just know that they are going to flip your seams. They are going to look dead close at everything.
If they find something interesting, or if they want to remember something that like they saw that was wrong on your costume, they will take a photo and discuss it later when they talk about it.
You will never know it because they're not going to tell you until the feedback.
Yeah.
And also with them looking closely at your costume, show them things that they can't see. Show them things like, for instance, like with me, I was very proud of my waistcoat that I quilted, my quilted waistcoat. So they thought it was just the front of my waistcoat that was quilted. I explained to them, listen, you can lift it, you can take my jacket off, you can look, the whole waistcoat is quilted all the way around. There wasn't any I wasn't trying to take any shortcuts or anything. That was that. I showed them my boots, because that was also another thing I was very, very proud of, because it's the first time I ever made shoes from scratch. And so I showed them my boots. I showed them little intricate boots, so intricate parts of my boots, things you can't see in pictures. Like on the belts of my boots, there are these little patterns. I showed them the little patterns I managed to do on the actual belt of my boots. So yes, a little thing that gets to show them things they cannot see.
Show them things they cannot see. That does not mean get naked, please. Do not undress.
Do not undress. Please, we've heard stories. Do not undress, please.
Yeah, no, they don't want to see you naked. They just want to see what you have and what you want to show them. But show them all the details they can't see. That what they can see, you don't need to really point it out. What they can't see, show it as much as you can. Yeah.
And if you can make part of your costume functional, they do like that as well.
Yeah, like his canteen, if he had made it functional, which
it.
I told him to do, but obviously it was a time issue.
It wasn't time. Yeah. It was time sensitive, and I couldn't do it. My pipe they loved because it was functional. They love that.
Okay. Need someone else, Neon.
Okay. Glitchwitch asked, "Do you have any advice for newbies?" Which I do believe that we will touch on a lot at our panel at Icon. But if you have like some quick general advice, what would you give?
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Honestly,
there's not a
reach out.
there's not a stupid question.
I don't believe. I actually don't believe there are any stupid questions. There are no such thing as a stupid question. Somebody is asking you the question because they genuinely don't know, and that is not something to be ashamed of, and that is not something that should be that you should be shunned about. If you want to know anything, I'm an open book. Message me and ask me. If you feel like messaging somebody else, they may not get back to you. They may get back to you. They might take a long time to get back to you. But ask questions. That is the main thing I can tell you: is ask questions and learn.
And also start small. I know it's you look at specific people in the community who maybe have been doing it for years. They started small too. They didn't like start off with these big winged characters that literally look like they're popping off of a page or whatever the case is. They all started small. They started somewhere. Sometimes, honestly, you do get a person that just pops into a competition. They're a novice, and you're like, wow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Maddie is a novice.
I think Maddie was journeyman.
Okay.
Obviously, feel free to correct us.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, like, you're gonna start small. There's nothing wrong with taking on a big project, but then slowly work on it. If you feel like it's not at the level that you want it to be, if you feel like you can do better on it, just keep trying, keep practicing the technique over and over and over again. Obviously, like things like competitions are time sensitive. You don't have a lot of time, but like if you can like sit with yourself like over a period of time, whether it's like in December when everybody's on holiday, and you literally spend the time learning how to work with foam, for example, and how to build a specific armor piece or whatever the case is, then spend the time and hone that skill. Honestly, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. It's just the same thing. And same thing like when he said with regards to like the patina or like rust, it's 12 different colors. Rust is not just brown. It's brown, it's copper, it's orange, it's red. It's
honestly, to be very honest, there's a bit of green, there's a bit of blue.
Yeah.
So there's many kinds of colors that actually go into rustic. If you feel like you want to master a certain technique, maybe take a couple of days on a scrap piece of whatever you're working on. Learn that technique. If it takes you hours to learn the technique, it was the first time I ever quilted anything. It took me 60 hours to quilt my coat because I was doing everything very slowly because I couldn't mess it up because it was very specific geometric shapes. But that's the dedication I had to put in to learn to quilt.
And then you messed up many times.
I messed up many times. Screaming and shouting, crying. She found me crying underneath my sewing table one day.
Yeah.
That is so relatable.
And I told her, and I was literally, I told her I can't do this.
And I'm like, yes,
and
you
she's
can.
like, no, you're in the start. If you can't do it, you're just having trouble with it. That's all it is. And take it slow.
Yeah, I mean, people want to do everything so fast. Take your time.
Go slow with it.
Some people for crown competitions, they take 3-4 years to work on a costume.
I mean, Hench herself, she spent 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years on her Helsing. And that was a 2-year process of her learning and perfecting and making sure everything was great. My foreign costume, that is 10 years of doing commissions and my brain sucking in information, and that is everything that I know is in that costume.
Yeah.
And still, I had to learn new things. Like I said, I had to learn to quilt, I had to learn how to make shoes. I had to learn how to resin cast properly. I had to learn how to carve. So you are always learning, and there's no shame in learning, and there's no shame in asking questions.
Good. A question that I wanted to put in was, like, what would you say is a big difference between, like, you've probably touched on this throughout the panel, but what would you say is a big difference between judging in essay competitions in general and then in, well, what you saw in American competition?
One of the things is it's very fast-paced. Judging is done on one day. It's only this year that CCA did everything on one day. but I think that was because there wasn't as many competitors as the year before. But they literally do the US qualifiers, the US winners from each city, and the global champions all on one day, and that's like over 100 people. So everything is really fast paced. It's literally get in, get off, get out.
And that's also the reason why you basically your stage performance for your global is like probably is at like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I say. Everything is very fast paced. Like it's literally a weekend and it's over, but it goes so flippin' fast. Obviously, like another thing, like we said, you do not. There is no such thing as being in character. With SA, we have that. In global competitions, you don't. Not at all. And also, we have a longer time period. So obviously, with novices and with journeymen, I think it's 10 minutes they get in judging. Masters is 15. Irregardless of your level in the US, or I think even in international competitions, it's 5 minutes. And yes, that is the short amount of time. They know, but they don't care.
And, so I think it's one of the countries, I can't remember who, they told us they actually get 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
wasn't it Latvia?
I think it was either Latvia or was Australia. They get 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was Australia.
It was Australia.
Yeah. Australia
3
was
minutes.
3 minutes. So they had 2 extra minutes. So it's a lot of like that, like the extra stuff that we get is always like great and appreciated. But like it's like in the US, everything needs to be done like now. That is literally how it is. Everything is
or like in a global competition.
Yeah, or in a global competition.
A lot of global stuff.
Yeah.
And we're actually lucky that we get that amount of time that we do.
Yeah.
In order to actually explain our costume and do our character stuff and whatever it is. But no characters, a lot less time, and show them what they can't see.
Yeah, basically, honestly, be focused the moment you get in that room. There's no time for, hi, how are you, and pleasantries. No, you're telling them about your costume. Doesn't matter about the highs and the hellos. It's literally go, and that's literally what it is.
Okay. All right. It doesn't look like we've got any other questions at the moment, so you guys probably covered everything very well then. Okay, so it is 8:30. Alright, so then just some pleasantries out the way. We are going to be having Nuri and Kayla back when we do our in-person workshops and panel at Icon. We have been sharing information about it on Icon on our Instagram. We will be doing some spotlights coming up. But yeah, I hope to see everyone at Icon as well. Will we be streaming those panels? I don't think the internet will be good enough at the school. But they will be basically workshops that we've already done. Like we're just going to, it is going to be quite a rush. It's going to be compacted into an hour each. So for instance, Nuri is going to be doing another foam working workshop, which he has done with us, but it's going to be a lot more compact. So we're going to do pretty much the same ones, and then anyone who is like a new person, we're going to be having 2 new people, is going to be Artie Cosplay Girl and then Kazifex Creations. They will be doing panels with us at a later stage, like on here, but for Icon they're going to be doing it in person. Okay. Alright, so hope to see you guys there. Thank you guys for joining, and no, stop picking your nose.
What?
I just saw that you were picking your nose.
No, you did.
Picking your nose, okay.
Scratching underneath my nose.
No, you were picking your nose.
I can pick my nose if you really want me to.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Nuri and Kayla, for joining us as well. And yeah, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you honestly have any questions, you can message us. Facebook, Instagram. If you have us on WhatsApp, go for it.
If you message them on WhatsApp, just be prepared that they're going to take 6 weeks to get back to you.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize.
Get back to the important people fast.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.